Adventure.
I hope you know.
Adventure is out there.
I hope you know that's where the video started, and I want to clip that. I just want that little audio thing there. When I get that pixel dice, that's going to be the Nat 20 sound. I'll just be there at the back cave, just rolling it. Nat 20, just little Josh Royce. Adventure.
It's just chibi Kuiper.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
So what you're
I
saying
need
is,
that.
you want me to introduce Zoe so that she could port you to the Star Guardian universe. I will do it. Don't. I will threaten you with the good time.
Wouldn't be the worst thing, would it?
I mean, I'll be honest here. I have been thinking about that kind of thing. It's like, as soon as I introduce Zoe, I introduce the other universes. Once I do that, I could quite literally drop you in other areas. Are we getting bored with normal Runeterra? How about Star Guardian? So maybe Project. Or how about I just drop you in the middle of, the Battlecast war?
Just suddenly see ourselves from the other dimensions, and it's just like, oh.
Oh god, no, I just realised if I did that, I could quite literally get an excuse to do a beach episode. There you go, pool party. Anyway, greetings everyone and welcome back to the Dark Tides of Runeterra. There are a couple of people down, and I just realised I'm on the wrong map there. There we go, no spoilers for anyone.
Naughty, naughty.
I believe this is the correct one, yes. Because you all stopped at Glacier Point last time? After a quick game of toss the Mariah around as a grenade. Also, Kuiper having life regrets of puking on people. I know there was some deep philosophical and emotional conversations, but this is what we remember for. That and a drunk Alari trying to flirt with everyone in the room.
Just slightly sobering her up when she realized it was him.
That is true. But the main takeaways from this is, you said that you was going on the gently used fish, and you had two options. It was, I believe, Guchar was one of them, to go see the twins' mother. Or Waffleberg was pointed to this little area where there is a cave where Yetis were last seen. And as you all woke up the next day, I believe you were discussing which one to do. Mariah is still there with a black eye, by the way. Delris is being a bit quiet because of flirtations coming back to mind. Especially given that Sejuani is just giving her the stink eye from the corner. So.
She's not coming with us, is she?
It'd be kind of strange if she did.
Okay, good. I missed last night, so yeah.
Suddenly Sejuani decides that Sejuani wants to be a part of whatever we're doing.
Turns out, shocker, Sejuani was the mother all along.
Well, stranger things have come from Delris's conversations.
Also, I should make a note, if Sejuani's still giving stink eye to Alari, Potoo's just going to get between them and make the freakiest face he can possibly manage.
Make me a... I won't say this is an intimidate, because you're not trying to intimidate someone.
Charisma?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with a charisma.
That is a 22.
Okay, so you try and go for the freakiest face you can. And at first, you just stare at the just squinting, and then the eyes start to bulge, and the mouth just starts to open wide. And yeah, she's going to. She just stares at you while you're doing this. Just takes a sip of an ale that's in front of her. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, but if you're trying to scare me, you're gonna have to do better than that.
Well, now she's challenging me to scare her. Can I use the sword to scare her? Let's add some more ghostly charm to the ridiculous face.
Okay, so how are you planning this? Like, what are you wanting to do with this sword?
Well, you remember what happened at Piltover when we were first leaving to come here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something kind of like that. Also, if you remember the ability thing that I was slightly homebrewing and talking to you about, it'd be a very good way to slowly introduce that kind of thing.
That is true.
Yeah, so any spirits want to help me out with this?
Let me see. Funnily enough, I still need to make that little chart, so I already know which spirit's going to be helping you with this. So, you just slowly pull Legion out. This time I am
don't
going to
even
say
really
make an intimidate.
I don't necessarily have to pull them out, do I? Just have to touch them.
Yeah,
That is a natural 20.
it's more a case of because I actually forget what you did in Piltover.
I just touched the freaking sword hand hilt.
Yeah, what happened? Like, what did Potoo do with the sword?
I borrowed the energy from the sword, considering.
Basically gave him like this big green aura, and it really freaked out the guy we got the boat from.
That was the
Yeah,
one. That
Yeah,
was the
ship.
one. Okay,
he pissed his
so
pants.
as you stare at Sedrani, you just rest your hand on the sword, and I am going to need an intimidation. Oh yeah,
I
not
rolled
20.
a
Yeah.
natural 20.
So yeah, an aura comes over. Like everyone that's watching Potoo, you see this green aura flare up again around him.
Just the
And
face starts
eh,
stretching.
yeah, face starts stretching, and anyone that's seeing her from the side or towards the front would actually see large shark-like teeth start to protrude from her beak.
Gender.
His beak. Shh.
Waffleberg slam! Waffleberg is just going to slap her on the head with a book.
Okay, so roll me just a strength check, since this would be almost an equivalent of an unarmed strike.
He completely
Oh,
misses, trips, and falls.
he falls off the gently used fish.
You're not even on the gently used fish yet, you're still in the 7. So yes, Waffleberg goes to strike you from behind and just kind of misses. Kind of catches some of your fluff instead and just kind of falls to the ground. If anything, it's giving you a bit more of an intimidating mohawk.
I knew what I was doing.
I don't even think Waffleberg can see Patoo's face properly yet, can he?
The funniest part is, as you do this, Sedrani's just still staring at you and just squinting.
Intimidating eyebrow wiggle.
Look. You're... Look, you're... I'm sorry, it's just the image of just this demonic stare, and then also just eyebrow wiggle. Look, you're talking to someone that's the head of the Winter's Claw. I have to deal with scary things 5 times a day at least. this little performance that you're putting on here is nothing without actions behind it.
It's worth a shot. Wish you'd stopped giving stink eye to my friend, though. I was just
I'll
having
stop
some
giving
fun.
stink eye to your friend when your friend stops trying to flirt badly with me.
Well, she's not drunk right now, so she's not flirting badly with you.
I'm pretty sure Potoo is flirting with you.
Potato
look
doesn't
Kuiper.
swing that way. Wait, does Potato swing that way? Potato, you're not gay too.
Waffleberg, I'm male. Unless you're calling Sejuani a man.
Sejuani's a girl?
And I got,
At this point, I've made it just so that Waffleberg can't tell fucking like people apart.
and here I
He
was,
just can't, which is why he always gets this wrong.
and here I was thinking that I wouldn't hate this party anymore, and I do. She just finishes her ale and just gets
You love us deep down. Potato, can you help Waffleberg up?
Potoo just helps Waffleberg up. I don't think Potoo's dropped it yet, has he?
No, Potoo is as far as I know, you're still there with the giant shark-like teeth. I should note as well, these are ethereal green, the shark teeth. As if they are like ghostly teeth.
Bird shark.
Potato, I can't take you seriously. You've got teeth on your beak. Like you look kind of like derpy, like because like you're Potoo, so like your beak's kind of flatter. So like it's just like you ever seen like people draw like children draw like monster faces, and then like there's just like the one single like two fangs coming out on the flat piece of paper. That's kind of what you look like right now.
His thought, Potoo's just going to just like chomp on his head.
He's just still talking. He's still talking, even though she's jumping on his head.
I'm just going to walk with Waffleberg to the boat in this manner. Because why
Sejuani's still there.
Sejuani walked out while all this was happening. Sejuani just finished her ale,
Right,
up and left.
good.
She was like, I'm not dealing with this.
That
However,
is such random crazy.
However, as you two do exit, you are getting a lot of stirs because of this.
Even more freaking
Carry on about your
eyebrows.
days. This is normal for. I got nothing. Let's carry on.
Yeah, you will be hearing quite a few whispers of, should we help him? No. This is why we don't like
He's not even in distress. He's still carrying on the conversation. He's just like,
hand movement and everything. Just
yeah, like he's not even like in distress. It's just like hand movements and stuff like that, just like still carrying on the conversation.
So,
Potoo just hearing the entire B movie script inside his mouth.
It was very muffled.
I will say this, Waffleberg, as you're still ranting on in there, just inside the mouth, you do see the spirit that has been helping Potoo out with this. Quite literally, Devi's in her mouth.
Called it.
Oh hey, how you doing? It's been a while. I haven't seen you for a couple days. Have you been in here this entire time?
Devi just shrugs.
Devi lives in Potoo's mandolin.
Do you like it in here?
Looks around. Shakes head. Kind of like
Yeah,
makes
it
a
is.
motion like it is like as if it is trying to play a mandolin, as if to get across that. Yep, Devi lives in the mandolin normally.
You play the guitar? Oh, you play the guitar! You should play a song for us at some point.
Face fin.
I've just got a vision of Potoo swallowing Legion, bringing it back out, and then just puking out all of the spirits like a sword swallower fire breather.
I mean, that is what I was going to go with the intimidation.
Would
Just
be.
Potoo just slowly swallows the sword, just like.
Blah.
So.
I don't think that would be very intimidating. Entertaining, maybe.
I mean, it'd be intimidating if you vomited up several ghosts. So, You make your way to the gently used fish, which is slowly being lowered after giving the basically asking to have it done so last night. And the person there that's just lowering it down, the Winter's Claw member, just looks. So whereabouts are you off to then?
Looks
Where
to
are we off to?
the others. The two choices are Yetis or Things. What is the other one?
Kuchar.
Hunting down what's her face's mother.
I think the mother might be the best option, unless the Yetis are closer.
The Yetis are closer. The Yetis are that little pink spot on the map. Kuchar is all the way over here.
We're going. I can't exactly say Yetis. We're going exploring, seeing the sights your beautiful land has to see. I'm still saying this all in Potoo's mouth.
Actually, Potoo did let go of you, unless you just
did
didn't
you?
take your head out. Unless you
If
just
you
didn't
did
take
go-
your head out of Potoo's
Waffleberg just no clipping into Potoo.
Waffleberg is just going to go into God mode real fast. He's going to no clip into the ground.
Accidentally.
Waffleberg.
Accidentally removes it. You just see it, just G model.
Secretly puts a freaking flossing Waffleberg in Sejuani's hair.
/ kill all. Waffleberg's just going to pat the man on the shoulder. We're gonna go in. Yeah, honestly, we're just kind of going with the flow at the moment.
Very well. It's just I needed to know if you're deciding to come back here tonight or if you're out for the full time. So I know if to save a spot or not.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be back, but eventually not tonight. Like, we have plans on heading up and seeing some more of the towns and whatnot. Normal tourism stuff. See, I even have he takes out like a Piltover in camera. I even have these. Say cheese.
Gorgonzola.
Are you actually taking a photo?
Yeah, he's taking a photo.
Does it have flash?
Oh, 100% it does.
So if you stick this camera in his face and you do that, he's going to have to make a con save with disadvantage.
Like it's the old fashioned, like there's a burst of smoke from the box as well.
Yeah, he managed to quickly cover his eyes in time and just went, bloody tourists.
There's just like a little, like, Waffleberg's just going to open a thing and there's a little imp just painting a picture because I don't actually know how Piltover tech works, so fuck it, I'm going with Terry Pratchett cameras.
I was about to say,
He's
I
just
got
going to
that
take
reference.
He's just going to take the picture from the camera, just close it and put it back in.
I just imagine you just open up the back of the camera, tiny little Waffleberg in there.
Just one of the Waffleberg holograms. Hey, what's up? Shut the fuck up, you.
So it's a Wafflegram.
I will shoot you.
Mm.
Oh.
You've already threatened to do that, and I don't think it would be good if I didn't.
No, you open it up, it's just one of the eggplants tightly stuffed in there, just doing a rough sketch.
Yes.
I can never draw the eyes correctly. What I have.
You're doing a good job, Larry. You're doing fine.
Paint me like one of your French eggplants.
Paint me like one of your Damasians.
Paint me like French grapes.
French
You like
grapes.
I'll make you moan like Mona Lisa.
God damn it.
Okay, continuing on.
Yeah, so he will back away, just like after covering his eyes, like bloody tourists. Fine, as long as I don't need to save the space, that's fine. Others can use the space then. I just
Yeah.
go.
We'll go.
So, you're all getting on board? Or is there anything else you wanted to do first?
Well, we have everybody, right? Head counts, blah blah blah.
Jeez.
The baby is asleep. I'm assuming the baby
Wonderful.
is just like clinging like a koala to someone's back.
Just Alari's back.
No, because if I recall right, Alari is currently Delris, and if that was the case, Delris would quite literally be cradling this thing.
It's the best way to keep them distracted.
I mean, that is true. Yeah, Delris is just cradling the baby. So if there is nothing else anyone wants to do, you all get on board. You all make your preparations. Who's driving this thing? Who has proficiency aircrafts?
Nope.
That would be, well, it's not proficiency in aircraft. It's just proficiency in ships because it is a ship turned aircraft, and we had covered that it was just proficiency in ships.
That is
So either
true.
Potoo or Waffleberg.
Yep.
Yep, so which of you two are going to be doing? Given that you have the map, Waffleberg, if you do it, you will get advantage in trying to get to this place.
Yeah. Also, it is Waffleberg's ship. So
Okay.
Waffleberg will get on it. He will get on board. He will pull the lever, and you all will hear the chicken dance song as Waffleberg comes over the speaker. The recorded, "Get the fuck on board!" Waffleberg's going to proceed to pull quite a few levers, and then he's going to turn the swindly thing, and then he's going to instantly pull the switch to which the eggplant thing downstairs is going to start spinning, and electricity is going to start coming into the ship as it begins to take off.
Okay. So, as it's taking off and everyone's on board, it will take you from Glacier Port to there. If I just try and work this out, because I did say from there to there was roughly. God damn it. Give me a sec.
What?
It's because it's going off of. What's its name? The grid. I don't want the grid. That's better. Also, I'm going to need the bolts again. Bolts. There we go. There's your gently used fish. That's a bit large.
Well, how expressive the two birds are.
There we go. So from there to there was roughly a day's travel. So this would be 4 days travel. So with that, I am going to, first things first, oh, I've been at it. Oh, it was Ranna. I'm doing a D&D thing for you, Ranna, can't you see it? So Ranna, not Ranna, sorry. Waffleberg, I'm going to need you to make me a intelligence check with advantage. Actually, since you got the proficiency with the boat thingy, add your never mind, even with the proficiency added through the boat thing, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
So, yep, you're piloting it fine, you're keeping an eye out, just like looking between the map and that. You know how to set it onto an autopilot kind of thing when it comes to night time so you can get rest. What are the rest of you doing during these 4 days?
Oh, what?
Good question.
Annoying everyone.
Sure, there was something in mind.
Potoo is probably going to be doing his best to avoid the annoying Mariah then.
In that case, Mariah, roll me a perception Potoo, roll me a stealth.
This is natural, by the way.
Yeah, you can't find Potoo. Potoo is hidden.
I'm a ghost.
So instead you just wander in the halls just doing your ditties. I will let Potoo roll a intelligence roll an insight, Potoo. Roll an insight
goody.
on the Mariah.
18.
Maybe she's been out of Bandle for too long. Maybe she needs to revisit it. Maybe the lack of Bandle is getting to her head, like it does with all Yordles.
Alright then. I don't want to be annoyed, but at the same time... Can I stealth and just from the shadows be like, maybe you should go home for a little bit?
Roll me a stealth again.
Yay, more stealth.
Mariah, roll me another perception. Yeah, Mariah doesn't see a Potoo, but does hear Potoo actually say that. Right? You've heard Potoo's voice come out of nowhere, be like, maybe you should go back to Bandle City sometime. It's getting to you.
Grr, I will find you.
No, you won't.
I most certainly will. There's only so much space on here.
Why do I imagine this has just become a 4-day version of hide and seek between you two?
It probably
I mean,
has.
it's a good way to distract yourself.
That is
And
true.
practicing being stealthy is not that bad.
I'm going to say Alari and Delris will be switching over the 4 days, but we'll be taking care of the pets and the animals on board. Kuiper, what are you doing for these 4 days?
Most likely trying to just basically mix a load of spells.
Okay.
Lots of research, random stuff.
Okay.
And he wants his make tea spell back.
That you're going to have to try and sneak out of Waffleberg's possession.
He's basically given up because Waffleberg won't give it back. He's just like, nah, recreating it.
Ah, okay. In that case, roll me a wisdom check. Let's see if you are able to
Okay.
recall it.
No.
You somehow come up with one that is quite literally gravy instead.
Spells are spells.
Gravy spell. You can consume gravy.
Just smugly walks up behind Waffleberg. Yeah, that sounds about right. Just smugly walks up behind Waffleberg with this cup that clearly looks like tea. Takes a sip. You just see him perk up, like, slowly put the cup down.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
It's not even like one of the usual watered down gravy type stuff. It's like the thick gravy stuff. So it just all starts to just slowly slide out the glass, out your cup towards your face. It's like, nope.
Without moving his head or eyes, just slowly passes the cup to Waffleberg.
Waffleberg's just going to grab the cup. He's going to touch it, and he's going to cast Kuiper's tea spell.
The gravy becomes tea.
I hate you.
Roll an insight with disadvantage there, Kuiper, given that you are suffering from gravy.
Disadvantage. Insight. Whew.
It's not an at one, so you do get a little bit of an idea, but not enough that you can quickly go recreate the tea spell. Just enough to be like, okay, so maybe that's where I went a bit wrong, at least.
Okay, you know what? You seem pretty in pain and suffering over the loss of this spell. Waffleberg's going to take the paper with the T spell, and he is going to quickly hand it over to Kuiper. Here you go, Moonman.
I don't hate you as much.
It's okay. I've already copied it down on another piece of paper.
Do I be a dick?
Do what you wish.
In that case, Kuiper, as you're being handed this paper, roll me. Both of you roll me a quick little strength check.
Oh. Oops.
That's a save, luckily. That's a save. I'll let you re-roll that. Also, it's
You
not
sure
with
it's right?
disadvantage. Yeah. Also, it's not with disadvantage.
Okay.
It's not even a struggle.
I'm going to say this. This was mainly just in case someone did that one or get a one. Luckily, you haven't. So, what happens is, as Waffleberg is handing you this paper, a breeze kicks up and kind of knocks the paper out of your hands. But after just like a quick little flurry, be like, no, you manage to just quickly grab it before it blows away.
Ooh.
So you have your T spell back.
Does a small bow to Waffleberg.
I've already copied it down, so it's fine.
And now I can probably teach you to make gravy.
Waffleberg has no interest in gravy.
Not even a gravy train?
No, not even a gravy train.
What? Who's what? But she's just flying around.
Given there are 4 days of this, I will be doing something quickly as well. But before I do that,
You're just clinging to the side of the boat.
I'm gonna want you four to roll me a perception quick. This is just something that all 4 of you will have been noticing at different times over the 4 days. Okay, so Waffleberg will have noticed. Potoo has noticed. Kuiper, you're too busy making tea and just enjoying the fact that you have tea now. You enjoy the fact that you have tea and it is not gravy. Mariah, do you want to roll perception? Yep, you notice. Umper is wandering around by herself on the ship, on like the upper and lower decks, all the way through these 4 days. And it's just investigating everywhere.
Maybe you could find Potoo.
Roll me a persuasion there. Umper looks at you, motions for you to lean down to her height, even though she's not that small, much smaller than you.
Yes.
She tries to clonk you on the head with a club and then runs off. She misses with that 12, but she tries to and then just runs off.
Why does no one like me?
But yes, you've got 4 days travel and I've got a... Let's see what happens on the first day. Okay, those that are on deck on the first day. So Waffleberg for sure.
On the first day of Waffle Miss my true love gave to me.
you will see, because they are not trying to hide this whatsoever, some odd floating shapes out to the ocean, just like floating in the air. What seem to be large jellyfish-like creatures. There are... How many is there? Let me roll this. Slash R1D10. Okay, that works. Just like 5 or 6 of them just out there. Those that are on the deck. So, Waffleberg for sure, but it's up to you three if you want to get in on this as well. Can roll me an Arcana.
Hmm.
28 for Kuiper. 15 for Waffleberg. Let's see for the others, if they are taking part. 18 for Potoo. Are you taking part in this, Mariah?
Yes.
Aye.
I imagine Mariah would still be hunting for Potoo, so probably yes.
You don't find Potoo, Mariah. No, not with an 8 Arcana, you don't find a Potoo. Yeah, they
Aw.
just look like floating jellies to you, Mariah. To you three, though, these are flumps.
What's a flump again?
Let me just
The only nice thing in the Underdark.
Oh.
let me just get a picture of these so I can show. Copy that. Best way to describe it is imagine a jellyfish with large eye stalks on top. Ranna, it's in D&D. It's uploading to D&D chat moment. But that is what a flump is.
Oddly disturbing to look at.
Kuiper, you got the highest roll, so you will know that not only are these flumps, but you also know exactly what they're doing. It's a mating ritual.
Puts down cup, walks to Waffleberg. We should speed up. It is not
Okay.
dangerous, but you don't want to get caught in the crossfire. And walks away.
It's gonna be very messy.
Well, I mean, Waffleberg's going, the ship's going as fast as it can, so he's just going to continue on. The ship ain't stopping.
Yeah, they don't seem to be paying you any attention. They're too focused on each other. And after a while, they drift out of sight. And that's what happened on day 1 of travel.
Waffleberg starts using catapult on the ship.
Go faster, go faster, go faster.
Every so often you just hear tunk, tunk.
Okay.
Just sudden jerk as we
So,
go.
like, Moonman, is that how you and What's-Her-Face do it?
Stellaria just
You know,
kind of
yeah.
slowly turns to face you, Waffleberg.
What?
No.
Is that how you two fly?
No,
Like
no,
jellyfish?
Waffleberg, come here. I will show you exactly how we do it.
He's
He's just gonna walk up to Waffleberg. He's gonna use Phantasmal Force to make it look like the biggest ass flump is coming towards the ship. But only to Waffleberg.
Okay, so hang on. What does Waffleberg need to roll for that? Intelligence saving
That's a
throw.
big wall of chat. Big wall of text.
Yep. Waffleberg needs to make an intelligence save. A 11.
That's a
Yep,
fail,
that
and
fails.
I know it will not deal damage.
Yep, so
Waffleberg proceeds to take out a Whopper. You said as big as possible, which means this thing's touching the ground. Waffleberg's taking out a Whopper.
You think
Good timing,
take out-
Bob!
Kuiper watches as you pull out what you think is the Whopper.
What you think is the Whopper? That is also the illusion.
No, it's secretly a Big Mac.
Well, do you want to know what's all in his equipment, just so that you can assume whatever he's taking out? The cleansing stones, the
Oh, no,
speaking stones.
I was gonna say it would still be the Whopper in the illusion, and yes, it would work in the illusion, but
A crowbar, a firebomb, a hammer, some more of the poles of annoyingness, some rope, some thieves' tools, and the pages of a certain somebody spell book.
Here's something I need to know though. If you are pulling out a Whopper, how many bags of holding does that go off? Is that 2?
It's 2 bags of holding in each whopper.
Okay, none of them are below a 10.
These obviously aren't real, though, apparently, according to Kuiper. So
Neither would the bagman have been if he came out either. But you may
Oh,
still have
God.
Yeah.
crushed.
damn it, I missed an opportunity. Oh, well.
Waffleberg is going to go to throw the whopper.
Yep.
And as he does, the ship is going to turn.
Oh dear.
Okay, so if
And he's chucking the whopper at the thing while he is also proceeding to ram the thing with the ship.
So you up and roughly here-ish now. I've got to quite plan this out now. Hang on. Flum.
See, the funny thing is, to all of you, you'll all drown when we crash. Waffleberg can walk on water.
I can fly!
Fuck all of you. Can't
If it
fly
is-
if you're crashing.
If it is genuinely a dangerous turn, he will end the spell.
Okay.
No, it is generally. This is Waffleberg we're talking about. He has no problems with sacrificing his life to take down a giant
So I
monster.
would say if you've
Like,
turned
this
it,
is generally like a dangerous turn.
if you turn
Golly.
it would generally be like that way out to sea. Because the flump would be at sea. I don't have a flump icon at the moment. 2-hand on here, so screw it, we're going old fashioned wise. That elephant's the flump.
Considering I am technically
Full
still
forth
on-
into the abyss.
still technically on deck with them, can I try to stop him?
Given that you wouldn't be seeing this illusion as well, so you won't be taken in by this, how are you going to try and stop him?
Oh, I'm clearly going to grab the wheel.
Okay, in that case, if you're going to grab the wheel, make me a dex check just to get over there quickly before it starts spinning out of control.
Oh, goody.
Waffleberg, are you still hold of the wheel at this point, by the way, Waffleberg?
Oh yeah, no, Waffleberg's still a hold of the wheel.
Okay. So,
Oh. 22. not
223?
I just gracefully danced.
223. Potoo has always been at the wheel. Make me oppose strength checks.
Okay.
How long has it
That's
been
two.
since the spell was cast?
Yep, Potoo actually manages to wrestle the control of the boat out of your grasp there, Waffleberg, and turns it back to a normal steering. It has been... How long does this last for?
A minute, but at 54 seconds, everything is going to explode into confetti.
2 is glaring at both
Why did
Waffleberg
everything
and
explode
Kuiper.
into confetti?
Okay, you saw that.
Why did everything explode into confetti?
Yeah, I'd say just about as Potoo manages to wrestle control of the wheel out to turn it back to the boat back ways. Yeah, it explodes into confetti.
Waffleberg is just looking at Moonman, who is the only person that he has ever seen use illusion magic in this party.
2 is just
Did-
glaring at the both of them.
Did you... Did you enjoy the show?
Kuiper, what
long
did you do?
in long silence, Kuiper takes a step back.
Where are you going, Moonman? Are you afraid? What you afraid about? I'm your old friend Waffleberg.
Um, he gives a weak smile.
Just ties him to the
New
mast
Ncorin.
upside down. But I'm still holding the wheel, so I can't do that. Oh, Kuiper, know that you are probably going to get reprimanded by Waffleberg too.
So if you invisibility, Waffleberg goes invisible. So yes, Waffleberg has gone invisible, Kuiper.
Hold the finger up. You have the wheel, don't you?
Yes.
Good.
Choose.
Maybe a perception with disadvantage, given that he is invisible.
Oh yeah.
Who is Waffleberg doing this to? I hope it's Kuiper.
Kuiper.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Wow.
I can smell you.
So Kuiper fails. Lyra sees it all though. Oh no, wait, no, even Lyra fails. She only gets it off the keen hearing and smell.
Fair play.
Waffleberg is taking back the make tea spell. And he is going to, in his invisible form, he has written a new spell, labeled the make tea spell, and it is, in fact, a make coffee spell. Waffleberg is just going to replace it. He's going to take the make tea spell, and he's going to put it in the one place that it will never be found again. Mariah's hair.
Okay.
And then
so-
Waffleberg will appear behind Potoo. I want my wheel back.
You're not trying to drive us in the ocean again, are you?
Nobody's gonna cast illusion magic on me again, are they?
I don't know how to cast illusion magic, and I would never do that to you.
Good! Because Waffleberg's gonna shoot a motherfucker.
Okay, you take
Okay.
the wheel.
No illusion magic, but also nothing between me and Stellara.
Potoo is going to
Okay.
pick Kuiper up and go to the nearest surface he can tie something to.
Hey, I wasn't done speaking with Waffleberg. No, No.
Waffleberg just looks at Moonman. Sexual jokes is no excuse for using illusion magic to get everybody killed. Do you know how
I didn't know
dangerous
you would
that
get
was?
He's just hearing
You
this.
know
I didn't know
me!
you would
You
get
know me! You make giant monster appear? What am I going to do? What is my crazy ass going to do? You should have seen the outcomes, you dumb bastard! You knew what I was going to do.
Kuiper, are you going to resist Potoo grabbing you?
Can certainly try, but
Potoo, athletics, Kuiper, athletics or acrobatics. Let's go with a good old grapple check here.
it's not worth it.
Yep, no, Potoo picked you up. Hold Kuiper gently like hamburger.
No, he's getting held by like a sack of freaking potatoes. No. Heads up or heads down?
I prefer. And then just looks off into the distance.
No answer, heads down. You're getting tied to. I don't know, would there be a posts or anything in the area that I could do this to?
What, you mean like a kind of like a mast?
Yes.
If I recall right, there are beams and structural supports for the ropes that are connected to the balloon, so
I'm tying Kuiper upside down to the masts.
okay. Kuiper, you are tied upside down.
And
So
we will stay there for a while.
I'll say that
Yes.
you stay there for like the day until someone comes to release you at night. Probably Stellara. Just being like, next time when this comes up, maybe just start off the bat with there's nothing between us like that.
I just wanted a bit of fun.
Rope, please. Potoo's just sitting there.
Potoo has just appeared there. Rob, please. Though also Mariah appears behind Potoo. Found you.
Mwahaha!
Mariah's getting sneaky. Oh no.
Actually, yeah, roll me a stealth there, Mariah. Let's see if this goes down. No, you hear her coming. You hear the maniacal laughter.
Okay, yoink the rope. I am. That is a 26 to get away stealthily.
Okay, so that would be day 1 of travel. I forgot what I rolled for day 2. What did I roll? I have to scroll back up. It was a 36. What's 36? Okay. On day 2, as things have calmed down a bit, those that are on board, roll me a perception.
Septy boys.
Gee.
Kuiper, yes. Oddly enough, Lyra, no. Potoo, yes.
Excuse me.
Yep. And just about a fail there, Mariah. You're still too busy looking for Potoo. Everyone else, though, you hear something off in the distance. Coming from behind you, oddly enough. What sounds like... It's a bit quiet at first, but as it gets closer, it gets louder. It's definitely some kind of mooing.
Mm. What do my
Sorry, repeat
special
that?
eyes see going and looking back?
Like distressed mooing of a cow.
Sounds like somebody has lunch.
Yeah. Somebody has lunch and Waffleberg doesn't want to become dessert. Waffleberg ain't stopping the ship.
Yep. And as you keep on piloting the ship, to the right of you this time, towards the mountains, you will see what seems to be a massive eagle-like creature just soaring across with a cow in its talons.
Well,
Describe this eagle creature. For me, not for Waffleberg.
Okay,
Or just is it the one that I'm thinking of?
it's not a Nivea.
Okay.
It seems to look like a large eagle, essentially, but
Oh,
brownish
it's
feathers,
the soul
longish neck.
birds.
The what, sorry?
I know what it is. I have them in my deck.
May I nature this?
Yes, you can nature it.
Excuse me.
A 19. Yep, you get this, Kuiper. This is a rock.
rocks don't have feathers. Ha 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 ha.
I feel like this has come up. Did this come up yesterday as well?
I don't know.
I feel like this came up in a game recently. RLC. Basically, it stated just a giant eagle-like creature.
Small ones of us, keep your head down.
It seems too distracted in the cow to bother with your ship. And given you haven't really stopped and such, I'm not going to say your ship's going to be blown away or blown off course by its wings. So yes, the rock passes by without too much hassle. The cow's just like staring at you as it goes past, like, please help. before it just vanishes off. Kuiper, with that high enough roll of nature, you assume this wouldn't be its meal. If it was going to eat a cow, it would have just eaten it on the spot. It's taking this cow back for its chicks. And you will see it land as I get this out. You'll see it head back in towards the mountain range. Your rough estimation of where it lands is here. So that way, you know, roughly is a rock nest.
At least we know we don't have to go there.
And now, with that, second day passes. So I've got to move people along a bit. Sorry, that was reflux.
It's all good.
You are roughly here-ish now. Let's see. Straight down the middle, 50. What is a 50 on this chart on the third day? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, again, not going to make you roll perceptions on this because it's not like it's something in the distance coming. It's quite literally something that you can see coming from quite a ways away. Mainly due to it glimmering in the sunlight.
Oh, goody, something shiny.
Indeed. You hear the beating of wings as it comes closer. And then you see the shape of it. Seems to be a winged horse.
Hmm.
And I just realized what I could do with this thing, so I'm going to do it. Like, initially the description was just a Pegasus flying calmly and fitted with a saddle and armor. Yeah, no, I know what I'm doing for this thing now.
What is Waffleberg looking at now?
A winged horse shimmering in the sunlight.
Isn't there an Ionian thing that's a flying horse?
There's also a Targonian and a Demacian.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a lot of flying horses.
You can make me an Arcana if you want to.
Yes, please.
Kuiper with advantage. Yep, and yep. Let's see what the other two get. Also, just to answer your thing as well, since you went AFK before I said Santa. The giant bird creature was a rock.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. Are you and Mariah going to roll Arcana as well, or?
Yes, just
Okay.
give me a secundo.
Mariah, what has been your rolls today, Mariah?
The Yordle curse.
Mariah's too busy still looking for Potoo.
Yeah.
We need to refill our luck points at Final City.
Waffleberg. You're not sure you think this may be like one of the Demacian horses. Kuiper and Potoo, however, you know this to be a stellar coin.
Oh,
Yet again,
I don't see too many of those.
indeed, Kuiper, you know for a fact, this thing is way off where it should be. These things reside at the top of Mount Targo.
What are you doing out here?
Do we
Also,
want to wave it over?
in case you need the picture, I'll throw it in D&D chat. That's what
He's
it
gonna
looks like.
repeat what he just said as a message to it. Actually, I don't know if it knows common
That is
or
beautiful.
anything,
It
but
will
he
know
will
common.
speak in the message. He will speak Solarian.
Yeah, that will do. So as you do that, you will get a message back in your mind. I am looking for my lost child. She crashed down somewhere in the mountains.
Child, has it comes out a message. Has anybody seen a smaller version of this?
I don't think we have. We might see one when we get further into the mountains, maybe.
They are looking for their child.
You, child of Targon,
Hmm?
are you willing to help me in such an endeavor? Oddly enough, you didn't even need to message this thing for it to send a message to you.
That's why he's very taken aback. Like, sure, I'm much obliged.
You will see it actually land on the gently used fish.
Now to wait for Waffleberg's reaction.
Waffleberg, this is not an illusion this time.
If it is, I'm tying you to the bottom of the boat next time.
Just shoots
Waffleberg's
Potoo a
just
look.
slowly reaching into his pouch, just like,
At that points to the pouch. No.
It will
Waffleberg pulls out a loaf of bread and starts munching on it.
slowly approach you, Kuiper, and then just kneel its head down and touch its horn to the deck of the ship. And a piece of its horn from the tip will just chip off and lay there. Use this to signal me if you do find her.
Will do.
Oh, good. Another cute thing we have to keep from Alari and Delris.
Do you have any leads or traces?
It was in the mountains, so if anywhere, it would be either in the mountaintops or, given it was some days back, presumably it may have tried to find shelter.
Hmm. It won't be anywhere we have been. I've been tied to the mast of the ship for a while, so I have had a lot of looking.
You've only been tied for a day. Oh shit, I can't hear you. Never mind.
You can.
I thought this was being done in the mind.
Oh, that's what happens when you play tricks and almost get us killed.
It wasn't mind. Never mind. But how do I use this? He picks up the horn.
Just channel your magic into it and launch it into the sky.
Understood. We will keep some eyes out.
I thank you for this. If I find her before you do, I will find some way of letting you know, so you do not worry.
He bows.
It'll do its like its best way to bow as well. Farewell, child of Targon. And just take off.
Fare thee well.
Turns out the baby just landed in the rock's nest and it's been eaten already.
No!
No.
And on the fourth day, you find the area just up ahead, Waffleberg. You feel like you built a lander mid-afternoon, roughly, for the cave.
Cool.
Let's see what I get. Just happening while you're landing. What? Sorry? I'm gonna have to Google that. I don't know what that is. I still don't know what that is.
Well, what is it? Maybe we can find it for you.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
So, as you're trying to find some area to land, just like a little outcrop, those on board, roll me a perception. Yep, and yep for Lyra. Yep for Potoo. And let's see. Waffleberg, you're too busy trying to land. And Mariah is assumably still trying to look for a Potoo.
Hmm.
Yes.
It's just that I also didn't even bother to roll that test. It's like, yeah, no.
You know, I'll roll it just in case of a nat 20, but the chances are pretty low. You see, a 9.
I mean, yeah, you don't see it unfortunately, but it has been better than some of your rolls recently. But Potoo, Kuiper, and Lyra see what seems to be a yellow fog, like a small yellowish cloud rising up.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm not even sure what to ask to roll.
Nature or Arcana?
Depends what you're trying to do with this cloud.
I want to see what it is.
So you're just trying to keep your distance as it's rising up to see what it is.
Yes.
Ooh.
Guess
Alright.
I'll try Arcana.
Yeah, you can both roll me Arcanas.
Oh.
That would have been the 17 anyway, because for the first number. Yeah, this is definitely magical in nature and not natural gas.
Hmm.
There is something quite... You don't... It's, the best way to describe it really is... Yeah, there's something unsettling about this gas. There's something unnatural, almost evil about this gas.
On the bright side, it's not singed because it's the wrong color.
Oh yeah, no, this is not chemical either. This is magical.
I know what it is, but Waffleberg doesn't see it because nobody's told Waffleberg of it.
Potoo's just going to point it out to Waffleberg. Do you have any idea what that is?
I wouldn't
Just,
trust.
yet again, you get the feeling it's Waffleberg. You know this hasn't been made. You know this isn't man-made. This is not any chemicals that you'd see in Zone, or any chemicals that you've seen anywhere for that matter. There is something demonic about this.
Oh! Is it not a living cloud kill?
Is it not what, sorry?
Is it not a living cloud kill?
It is not a living cloud kill.
Cool.
Who got the highest there on their Arcanas? Waffleberg did. Waffleberg. What did you roll, Potoo, for that? Oh, 22, sorry, yes. It's because everyone gets like the big rolls, and then since you have to type yours in, yours is tiny. Potoo,
I got the tiny baby.
in all your travels, you've come across a few like demonic entities and what you've been reading about. So a name does definitely come to mind for this. Yordle.
How bad does that come to my memory?
Bad enough to know that this cloud is toxic as all hell.
Waffleberg, how high can we get this thing?
How high before you start freezing and can't breathe?
well, we want to keep away from that.
You would also know that this cloud isn't a byproduct of the thing. It's just another form of the thing. If you even try and attempt to attack it, it most likely will manifest.
Mhm.
They also seem to have connections with spiders.
Spiders haunting us yet again.
It's mainly because, as it says on this page, the Queen of Spiders had these 8 limbed abominations infiltrate drow societies. Given that that's technically not a thing in League, I'm just having to put it down to Shadow Elves fuckery with a little side note of probably Elise having a bit of control over these.
I understand that's not natural, but what would
That
the
is
Potoo?
I don't know how to pronounce it the way you said it, but Tutu's just going to say the name of it and be just like far away from it.
Potoo, you can make me a perception.
Perception. I'm not going to look at Gift Horse in the mouth, but that's another 22.
Given its position and where you are, and the fact that there doesn't seem to be too much wind up here today, you get the feeling that if you can land your boat in time, it should pass by without too much issue for you.
Oh, so we need to go
What was
down
it?
instead of up.
What was its name?
A Yochlol. Yochlol. Also known as the Handmaidens of Lolth in Fifi.
Honestly, that sounds like a shitpost.
Oh, yeah, it's the weird goopy tree monsters. I know what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
To be fair, looks-wise, they could blend in well with the Shadow Elf, so it's not too much of a stretch.
yeah. Well, no. Waffleberg's just waiting for everybody else to tell him what to do. He's not going to be the one that.
So you want me to just say land quickly without crashing?
If that's what we're doing,
Yes. We should be able
cool.
to pass.
Well, Waffleberg will proceed to land the ship rather quickly.
Yep, so make me another one of those pilot ship checks with using intelligence. While you're doing that, I need to get something prepared for this. Also, I can close that down now, so because we don't need that anymore. Yep.
Yeah.
Managed to drift.
Yeah, that's like a 20.
Yeah, you managed to drift the gently used fish over to what seems to be a just an out area near the cave. It will be like
Sorry, that's a 28.
yeah, it will be like 5-minute walk to get into the cave entrance from where you're having to land, but it takes you well out of reach of the cloud.
Nice.
So as you land, you watch this yellow cloud just float by. Even from where you are, yeah, it starts to stink a bit. Like it burns your nostrils even from this distance. You feel like if you got caught in this, yeah, you'd all be choking.
Still not as bad as one of Moonman's.
Just everyone there is just being like, oh, we just about managed to survive. Waffleberg says that, just going for a slow head turn, like, fuck. So
I don't think we need another Yordle stink bomb.
We don't need another Yordle stink bomb. Mariah slowly rises up from the depths.
Alrighty, just let me activate. An alarm system, and then the security defense systems, and we're good to go.
Okay. So it takes you a little bit just to get all that set up. And after you make sure that the boat isn't going to be blown away, you all hop off the boat and head towards the cave. And luckily, since I've said there's no wind, there's no threat of you being blown off. Especially given the pathway is so wide that you'd quite literally have to walk along the ledge to even risk falling off. Oh, that's a good idea. I should have used that, Ranna. But no. And as you all approach the cave, I flip us over to this map. You should only have this little cave entrance part highlighted at the moment for you. So, if you can, would you place yourselves onto there?
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice, but it's been about almost half a year now of me wanting the ability to do that, and still can't do that.
Yeah, as
Yep.
soon as you started saying that, I was like, Jesus, that's what I forgot. I knew I forgot something. Give me a second.
Roll20, fix your character sheet.
It's not that.
I'm not seeing-
It's not that. It's me forgetting to actually do so. So
Oh wait, you have to let us have the thingy?
no, it's more. It's more. Waffleberg actually doesn't have a character sheet on here because
Oh,
it's on
yeah.
D&D Beyond. So I
I
have to
can't-
make him one on here just so he can have the icon.
I can't drag my icon on. Sad face.
Where are we?
You're already on the map. Apparently, you're down here. You're in the cave. Let me just get
We're in a
that.
cave?
Yeah,
Waffleberg.
the cave that you were told to get into. Where Waffleberg was saying he was pointed there because there was talk of Yetis here.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Sorry, I've not been here the past like 5 minutes.
Okay. There you go. You're on the map, Potoo. Can you move yourself? Okay, that works. We're not going in turn order here, so it's fine. I'm just doing this so I know whereabouts you're going to explore. Also, what I'm going to need to know is who has dark vision.
Yep.
Also, can you move your icon there, Waffleberg? Because I've set it so that you can control it.
I have dark vision.
I have my goggles. Haha, so I have dark vision.
Does Waffle... I don't know if the twins have
Okay,
dark
which
vision.
which ones of us cannot see in the dark?
Can Waffleberg see in the dark? Also, I'm going to say, even though you've set up all the alarms,
Waffleberg, what?
can Waffleberg see in the dark?
Of course he can't.
So
He's
yes,
an
it is Waffleberg.
Aarakocra. Can't see in the dark.
Also, I'm going to say, Alari and Delris have decided to stay at the boat.
Why is Umpa here though, without Alari and Del?
Umpa cling to Mariah's back.
Ah,
Umpa, of course Umpa's coming. Umpa sent his Yetis.
oh yeah.
Yeti power.
So, Kuiper, were you going to do something to help Waffleberg see in the dark?
Wait, why can Potato see in the dark?
Potato has goggles that helps them see in the dark.
Yes.
I was going to basically attach a set of dancing lights to Waffleberg, which gives oh, it's actually really dim. It's like 10 foot.
Just
It's
But it's
better
there if
than
you need it.
nothing.
Yeah. For them as well.
Yeah.
Piltoverian tactical goggles strapped freaking Potoo's face.
So yes.
Stylish.
You all have some version of dark vision. So, whereabouts are you wanting to explore here? You've got basically what looks like an odd fork in the road, one to the left and one to the far right.
Could I send Lyra ahead to maybe scope out and listen for Yetis?
Which direction are you going to send, Lyra?
Whichever direction we don't go.
Okay. Because I know Potoo's moved that way just to try and glimpse. Lyra's going in there.
Lyra is a surfing penguin?
Lyra is a surfing penguin?
I'm sorry, I could only see one part of it, and it looks like a penguin surfing. There we go. Like, look at the shape of
Where's
it.
it
It looks
going?
like a
Hang on.
surfboard.
Reveal areas. Lyra will be able to see this part for now. As would Potoo. Actually, Potoo will be able to see a bit more. Potoo will be able to see this.
Oh, goody, a room. Can I stealthily look in this one just in case there's something awful in it that's not going to be reasonable?
Make me a stealth check. $26. Yeah. You stealth into there. I'd say that you'd probably be able, if you're stealthing, you'd probably be like hiding around this rock here. And let me reveal that room. A bit there too, so that you know that's the pathway. Doesn't really seem to be too much in here. Lyra does hear noises, but they seem to be coming from all around.
Well, it is a cave.
Mm.
Also, she's not quite sure, but they don't sound like what Umpa sounds like.
Should that be worrying?
Hmm.
A little bit. So, you two are heading into that big room then? Oh, Waffleberg's heading there as well.
Kuiper will just be following Potoo everywhere.
Umpa follows still.
You just watch Potoo phase out of existence for a moment.
So, yep, you spend a while there, Potoo. Doesn't seem like there's any threats in this room.
Clear.
Yep. You two, you lot hear that it's clear in that room?
Okay.
So Umpa just waddles in. Mariah, which room are you going in? They've all gone into this large room here. This side for Waffleberg is saying back. You saw Lyra go into this room up here.
I'll go where Lyra's going then.
Okay. So you head up into here. Let me just reveal this room. Damn it, I've got the wrong thing clicked. Keeps happening. It's because, I don't know, it's when it comes to reveal areas, if you somehow end revealing an area on a token, it goes, oh, you wanted to select a token? Yes, we can help you select a
Yep.
token. I'm like, I don't want to, I just want to reveal a room. So, as you enter this room, doesn't seem to be too much there. I will say, I was kind of hoping Kuiper would have gone into this room for one main reason. Because if Kuiper had gone into this room, I could have been like, oh yeah, no, Kuiper sees something. Kuiper sees something very fancy. Let me right click and get
I
that from
mean,
there. Kuiper sees something very fancy indeed.
could look through Lyra.
I'm sorry, but that looks more like something that's going to murder somebody.
I remember that you can set animated GIFs on this thing. No, Poppy the performer isn't in there. It's an empty room. However, Mariah, make me perception. No, investigation, sorry. Investigation. An investigation check. That is good investigation. Lyra can make one as well.
Uh-oh. I don't think that's a good idea.
Lyra actually
Damn, that was
struggles.
high.
That was high. Mariah,
But yeah.
you see what you
Yes.
think to be tiny little hoof tracks in here.
Oh.
They lead in, and then there seems to be fresher ones that led back straight back out.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is what?
Sorry, I've just noticed the thing.
Is it not deleted on your screen?
No, it's not
it's
deleted
still
on mine either.
there.
What? I deleted it. Oh god, I.
You can't delete Poppy for Poro.
It's still there.
Poppy is the BBEG.
Oh, it's not there for me anymore. This worries me.
It's scary.
Let me just refresh the page, see if for some reason it decided to not delete it. If that's the case, I apologise. Poppy should not be there anymore. I set that up just to be a funny little jump scare for Josh if he went in the room. Oh god, Poppy is still there. Delete the Poppy.
There
Okay,
we go.
it's actually gone now.
Oh, but yes, you see hoof tracks come in here and then exits.
Alright. Is there nothing else in here?
No, there was never any clowns in here.
Good.
There was never any horrendous music playing, just a. Oh,
Little Umpa, you know where you are.
Umpa looks around. And then just gets a slight nod.
Hmm.
And
Perhaps you can show us where to go.
Umpa scratches her head, right at the top of her head, just out of confusion. And then shakes her head.
Hmm.
It seems more
Which-
like a case of she knows where she is, but even she's at this so young age that even she'd probably get lost in here. She was probably always accompanied by someone in here.
Should I roll a perception to see if I can see any track?
See any tracks? That would be an investigation.
Right.
Trax is actually survival.
That is also true. I guess, yeah, survival.
Yeah, it's completely up to you.
Either works. Either or.
Survival.
Yeah, 22. Oddly enough, you don't seem to see any tracks. Oh, actually, no, wait. Give me a sec. You do see tracks. Not hoof-like ones like Mariah saw. What you see, first of all, is you see the snow that seems to have been disturbed here-ish. Kind of like a wind force was blown down onto them.
Hmm.
Here, however, you see what seem to be canine-like tracks.
That makes me think that a certain somebody's here.
They're not big enough to be Warwicks.
Okay, that's good.
So, left, right, or up? Which way are people going? Mariah, are you rejoining the group at this point?
Yes.
Are you letting them know what you found?
Yes.
So Mariah comes running over. Go on, Mariah. I'll let you say it.
Kuiper's
I saw tracks, and for a quick second I thought I saw clowns, but there was no clowns or something.
strange place for clowns.
I know!
Strange place for clowns. Waffleberg out the corner of his eye sees Shako leaning against a wall.
Hmm.
Waffleberg's going to proceed to do the Fortnite dance.
So Potoo's going upwards.
Be kind of funny if Shako joined you in flossing.
So Potoo's going upwards. Where is everyone else going?
Following Potoo.
Kuiper's following Potoo.
Following Potoo.
I mean, we're looking for something with feet like Umpas.
That is
Dog
true.
prints aren't exactly Umpa.
That is true. So,
Just imagine Potoo just explaining this while holding one of Umpa's little feet.
it's just like Umpa just lay down for a second, just grabs one of Umpa's little feet as she's trying to gnaw on the other. So, you head up this way. There seems to be a tight corridor to the left, and a more open one to the right.
Do I see any more of the disturbance like I did with the
You,
area out here?
you do actually.
Drink any water, baby?
Seems to be going this way, but you find other. Well, make me a survival. First things first. I should have said that.
Sorry, say that again.
Survival, please.
Goody.
I shouldn't be giving away.
17.
I shouldn't be giving away information for free. I should be asking for rolls first. You see the disturbances in the snow going this way, but you see what seems to be boot prints going this way.
Why would there be hoofs in here?
Not hoof, boot.
Boots.
Yes.
Are they vaguely familiar in shape?
Just seems to be like the usual boots that you've been seeing the Freljordians wear.
Right. Well, going this way, hope it doesn't seem to be a trap.
Okay, if you're going that way, I'm going to need a athletics to try and squeeze through.
21.
Everyone, you just watch as Potoo just looks between these two corridors, then just holds his breath as he just squeezes through this narrow corridor. I'm going to say the Yordles won't need to because they're small enough.
You just see all the fluff getting pressed down by the freaking icy cave walls.
Are you all going left or is anyone going right?
Following Potoo.
It do looks like they know where they're going.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm guessing Mariah's following too.
Yes.
Okay. This makes me sad. So, as you squeeze on through, that's darkening the area. I want to reveal the area.
Thanks, Roll20.
Thanks, Obama.
Oh no.
So as you squeeze on through, Potoo, given you're the first one through, you see what seems to be. Well, first things first, this is a large area. I'm doing that so I don't reveal what was in that room that you never went in. Yeah, it's a large area. I'm just slowly revealing it. Seems to be a large ice wall on the other end. You make me a perception.
Right.
There is reasons why I haven't revealed that part yet.
Natural 20.
Great. That makes me happy. Now make me a wisdom save.
You're about to make me piss my pants, aren't you?
Yes.
12.
That is a fail, unfortunately. You
Ah.
freeze up on the other side, stopping others from getting through. As you see, frozen in the giant wall of ice, a massive yeti.
Like, is it dead, or is it actually looking back at me from the ice wall?
You're not quite sure from this distance.
Just Potoo's puffed up.
Pretty much. Everyone, Potoo has stopped moving. Potoo has just fluffed up.
Potoo, what is
Oh
wrong?
dear.
I'm not sure if it's dead or alive, but there's a yeti stuck in a wall.
Waffleberg is just going to hold Oompa up over Potoo's head. Does that look familiar?
Umpa squints, nods, and looks around for a way to describe this.
I mean, there is slush? Snow on the ground. Right?
Yeah, it's all snowy here. So she will scramble over your head, Potoo, and just climb down you to get to the other side. And just right in the ground, some Freljordian symbols.
We don't read Freljordian, child. Unless one of the spirits in my sword wants to translate.
One of them can, if you're going to contact them.
I see no reason why not. Let me just distract myself with the ghosts.
So,
I mean, that or Waffleberg is just going to go ahead and
Attempt to squeeze past Potoo?
no, Waffleberg's just going to cast comprehend language.
that works.
That works too.
And then he's got to look at Oompa. Okay, this should be better. What is it that you were trying to tell us?
She will look to you, surprised that she can actually understand you fully now. She will point. Great grandpa. Ancient Yeti.
Oh, is he like grumpy? Should we not wake him up, or should we wake him up?
He always sleeping. Never seen him awake.
Ah,
So we
Is
need to
it-
be extra quiet then, huh?
if he wakes up, is it bad?
She just shrugs. She's never seen him awake, so she doesn't know.
Okay, well, we're gonna, out of like respect for him, we're gonna like let him sleep. We're gonna continue on.
Is that through ice?
You'd have to get closer if you wanted to check that,
Why am I the only one that pisses my pants over the Yeti?
because you were the first one to see it. You let everyone else know that there was one there, so they were prepared.
Okay.
Hmm. You took a few steps.
Yep. And as you take a few steps, make me a medicine check first things first.
Medicine. Oh wow.
You get the feeling that given you're not even seeing any hot air rush out from this thing's nostrils, yeah, this thing might be dead. This thing might have been dead for quite some time, in fact.
Huh.
Hmm.
As for if that is true ice, that would be an arcana.
Hmm. We'll
No, it's just generalized. It's just built up over time.
I'm not sure. No, I won't say. And are there more paths?
Yes, there is a path to the left, to the north, to the right.
Okay. I'd also like to send Lyra down here.
To where, sorry?
Um,
Oh, down that pathway.
yeah.
Okay. Lyra enters a windy tunnel that's darkening to get reveal areas. Reveal areas. A long, windy tunnel. For exiting into this room, where half buried in ice and snow is a chest.
Okay. We'll notify Kuiper and just sit on the chest. That's for later.
I want Lyra to make me a perception.
Can do.
There are definitely noises and smells coming from here.
What flavor?
Wolf flavor.
What flavor?
What flavor do thine eyes taste?
Pie flavor. Yeah. On that note, starts to sit down, then just goes, nope, 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 nope.
Nope, 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 nope. Somehow flits around the room in the panic.
Yeah.
Everyone, you watch Lyra come in and quite legit zoom around the room in a panic.
She has been spooked
By
by dogs.
I
Dogs
did
aren't too bad.
see wolf prints or canine prints back that way.
There was also some sort of chest. I know at least some of you are into looting.
Well, let's find the Yetis first. We can worry about
Good idea.
looting chests later if necessary.
So which way are
That
you
we can
planning to
do.
go?
What doth mine survival skills say?
Your survival skills say not too
going on?
much, unfortunately.
Alright.
The ground around this guy is quite icy, and therefore you can't see if there are any tracks around these parts.
Alright. Watch there be a freaking secret door behind Grandpa.
So you're heading into there.
Yes.
Okay. Potoo. You just enter and just narrow your eyes. Reveal area, please.
Would it help if I moved the token? What?
Don't think too much on what the icon is representing. I couldn't find a good icon to represent this. So
What the?
let me I don't even know what these things are, to be fair. I have not.
I don't want to know.
It looks like a naked
Oh,
drunk.
God. Yeah, I just full sized that thing. Oh. I could have picked better icons.
Why does it look like Cicero got really frisky at Christmas?
Is this the true Osiric?
Oh,
You hear bagpipes in stereo.
what the deuce is this that deuce looking at?
Oh, hey, you got my Christmas cards.
Okay, let me try and explain what you see, Potoo. As you enter this room.
It's funnier if you don't.
I know it's funny if you
Yes.
don't, but I'm not trying to go for humor at this point.
Go on.
You see, the snow starts to build back up in this room. What seem to be two large snow mounds.
Are they moving?
They are not moving.
Hmm. I don't have anything small that I could roll over there.
I mean, you do. She's just in the other room at the moment.
Kuiper!
Hmm?
Come here.
Hmm?
There's two mounds here. I don't know exactly what they are. They're not moving.
Mounds? Are mounds supposed to move?
They're kind of big to be in a cave. Moves over to the side so he can come in.
You see
Yeah,
two
give
large
me a
snow mounds.
moment. To see if there's anything.
God, I just realised, could I do that?
Um.
Oh God, I did do the finger now.
Oh god, it's moving.
Do I have? Cool. I'm going to basically point behind us and bring in a gust of wind.
Okay. So as the gust of wind comes in, the cold air chilling you both. Mainly because, it has to bypass a lot of snow and ice to do so.
Ugh.
It will blow away some of the snow on these mounds. And you will start to see, on the right one, you start to see a large hairy arm. On the left one, yeah, a bit of a foot pokes out now.
Okay. Do
Are
they
they?
look alive?
Medicine check, if you want to.
Oh, yes, please.
Would like to.
Natural 20.
Kuiper. They're alive and they look hungry. Potoo.
I'm not sure about this.
Potoo.
Hmm.
Given the fact that they didn't even react to the wind, and just a general state of being, yeah, these guys might be dead.
Don't let them put into this room.
Ugh.
Those are corpses.
Yes. Just slowly backs out.
Umpa's rolling a perception to see if she heard her name.
I'll tell you what, Linda. Even though I just had a pudding, that bloody toast.
No.
Umpa rushes over so fast she stretches up.
It's like, no. You try and stop her, she just elongates herself to get past you and then just.
It's like, no.
It's a defense mechanism.
But yeah, Umpa will try and rush for the cave upon hearing her name.
I'm picking her up.
Grapple check. Yep, you scoop her up before she can run in. Her little leg's still like trying to run on her, but she's trying to get in.
Just extend one little tiny feather and just tickle her feet.
Waffleberg. You still got comprehend languages up?
Yep.
You're hearing her go, bed, 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 bed.
No, not that way.
Waffleberg is going to take her from Potoo. Hey, Is it
Better.
them?
Nester.
We'll go
Honda.
ahead.
Repeat that, please, because I couldn't hear you.
But better. Nester. Honda.
Real quick, Waffleberg. What languages does Waffleberg know?
Waffleberg just has comprehend language, so he can speak Yeti, but he can also speak common.
Okay, well, Potoo's going to speak Ncorin, and he's going to be like, "Don't let her in there. There's two dead bodies."
He already knows.
How do you already know?
Is it them?
It's two Yeti bodies, yes.
Like, she's the only way we can identify them. And
Well, there's a possibility that could potentially be something else in the other rooms.
but if it is them,
Yes, it's going to break our little heart. Which is why we should
It's
check
not
before we...
we have no right to keep it from her.
Alright.
It would do more harm for her not to know than for her to know.
Mm.
I'm fine with checking the other rooms, but we do need to eventually take her in there to identify.
Yes. But just in case her parents are alive, let's wait until the end for that, okay?
Sounds
Waffleberg's
good.
going to look back at Oompa. We're going to check the other rooms real fast. And then we'll come back to this one, okay?
Umpa just looks a little bit sad, but nods.
Just pats Oompa's head.
We should be back before you know it.
Yes!
As you're heading outwards, Potoo, make me a perception. Given that you're the closest.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, no,
Waffleberg still
Waffleberg's
has
there too,
her.
yeah. Waffleberg, you can make me a perception as well.
Before we leave,
Yep.
just real fast. This may be like the biggest long shot ever. But would this big old guy have any memories?
Any memories?
Yeah.
Oof. Now that's a question.
Yeah.
Can you get memories from a dead body? Like, is this a
That's
spell that you're doing?
completely up to you. It probably would have been something simple like detect faults or encode faults.
I believe the being needs to be alive still for that.
Fair play.
Whereas this guy has said, just purely due to Umpa never having seen him alive and the ice around him, he's been dead for quite the few ages.
Oh, absolutely. And if there is a spell that allows me to do that, I need to find it immediately.
It's called Revivify. Revivify the ancient dead.
True. Actually true.
So, yes.
No, there's a thing, but it's...
Waffleberg, you're a bit too distracted with Umpa. Just like, she's pouting a little bit, but she's obeying. Potoo,
Mm.
you think you hear something from behind you, coming from within there.
Covertly craning neck back to look in room.
Perception. You think you see something quickly disappear back behind a mound of snow.
Squint. What would
What's
it
going
take?
on?
Something moved. Didn't look quite that big. Could you, go ahead and go to the other room? I'll look.
Okay.
So you're heading back into the Potoo.
I am, and I'm being extra careful.
Okay. As you quietly step back in. Yeah, again, you think you see something just look over one of the shoulders of the dead Yetis, then disappear back behind it.
Insert Devi vision.
Devi floats off to see what's behind there. How did I say to do this? I thought it was just Sigil and Z. Is it Shift and Z?
Waffleberg is holding
there we
on.
go. That is what you see.
That is adorable. How big is that?
Also, yes, Waffleberg is holding on, but it's because I was pressing the wrong buttons, that which essentially was the undo function. This would be roughly, trying to think, about the size of a small pony.
Huh.
And yep, it definitely looks like a smaller version of that horse you saw a couple of days ago.
Can I offer it some rations?
Animal handling. Let's see how this goes. $18. Yeah, it will look at these, sniff the air, and slowly trot out from behind. Just start to nibble on them.
Oh no. Are you hiding with the Yeti bodies?
She will shake her head.
Hmm.
And just
Do you mind if I pick you up?
Given that she is still happily munching on rations, you can do so.
Just gently scooping it up.
Oddly enough, these things, not heavy at all, quite light in fact, and oddly tingly to the touch. Mainly because, you know, they're extremely magical creatures, and bound by the energies of starlight.
Oh, that kind of tickles. Going to walk out with it. Directly to Kuiper.
Kuiper, as everyone's trying to decide which room to go in next, you watch Potoo walk back out of that room, carrying a baby Stella coin.
He's been concentrating on this thing. And he just looks at the two.
I've got a child.
Oh. Good eye.
Yes, well, I'm glad it wasn't something that was going to murder us.
It looks to you, Kuiper, and then just kind of flutters out of Potoo's arms and just walks over to you. And just sniffs.
Hello, little one, if it is even smaller than him.
Yordles are like 3 foot, 4 foot something, if I recall right.
Yeah, bio. Oh, that's. I was like, no, I'm not like 1 foot. 3'5".
3'5". I now need to add to my Google search history. How tall is a pony? How tall is a pony? Uh, that doesn't help. Who measures in hands?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, again. Measures less than 14.2 hands. What's that in feet? I'd say it's probably just a little bit. little bit smaller than you, in fact. Going off the art of some of the other art for these things, yeah. I'd say they're just about a bit smaller than a Yordle.
He's like, greetings, smaller one.
It just looks, tilts its head, and starts to munch on your robes.
Did you call me small?
Make a dex save as the club comes down from the giant yeti.
Oh
You
god,
just hear the cracking of freaking true eyes as it does so.
god. Gonna scritch behind the ears of this thing.
It seems happy and content
Um,
now. Seems like feels like it's a bit safer than it was before anyway.
Okay, we should. Well, it will be best to wait till we get outside before we throw this. Or I can
Yes,
go
because I
outside
don't
and
think
do this in the meantime. The sooner we let her know, probably the better.
right.
This is where you
Well,
just
we
send
needed-
Lyra out with it.
Designated
good-
child watchers.
Probably a good point.
No. You guys are still debating. I'm going this way.
It's just a case of just quick grab the sending stone, message Alari, come pick up the child. Which one? Yes.
You just get confused, fire person.
Potoo, you're heading up there, are you?
Yes.
Okay, as you head into the room.
I'm mildly curious to know how a Yeti fit through the tiny gap right here.
But how the Yetis do so?
Yeah.
Sideways shuffle. So, as you're heading into there, I'm going to have to look something up quick. There we go, that's what I... Oh, no, wait, that's better. That's what I needed. Let's see what they have there. How about are you doing this? Are you just walking in, or...?
I'm, again, being very careful because I don't know what's in the room. If I need to stealth, I will.
Please do.
I'll be right
18.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be going off their passive perception for this, so they won't hear you. They won't hear you enter. As you see two wolves in there,
Oh, good.
just digging at the ground.
They're just normal wolves.
Nature check. Also, I've just looked at these things and apparently I've done these wrong. This should be at least like that.
Holy shit.
Due to their size and their white fur, these are winter wolves.
Aesthetically pleasing, but I don't think that would be good for us. Considering I'm still kind of in the doorway, can Waffleberg see me from here?
Yeah, they can see you.
Going to wave to Waffleberg and just point in this general direction and say, just do it. Neck choppy motion like, don't come this way.
Yeah, everyone, you'll be able to see Potoo go. Yep, nope, nope, not this way. So you all know winter wolves that way. Or at least something's that way.
Something not particularly bad, but not pleasant. And considering we have children with us, definitely not good.
So you look into there. Jesus Christ, I read that wrong. I read it as teacock.
Oh,
She's like a peacock but for teeth. So, you look into there, Potoo?
Yes.
I hate everything. Reveal
What?
Me try to reveal this and
Oh.
it keeps going on to Potoo going, oh, you selected Potoo's icon. No. I'm revealing a small cavern that carries on. Yet again, you go down. Roll me another stealth. Yep, you beat their passive. What the fuck am I selecting now that's got a giant selection that wide?
Good question.
Roll 20, this is
Thanks for all
bullshit.
20.
You spot
Oh no.
just 3 normal wolves this time. Just patrolling around.
Right. What are the odds of me getting one of the winter wolves on my side? I am definitely weighing my chances at the moment.
Probably not good. Given quite literally, it says that these are evil creatures. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just noticed something about these things that is interesting.
What?
You'll find out.
Well, reporting back to Waffleberg. So, winter wolves to the upper room, and 3 normal wolves to the other room. Kind of looks like it connects.
I don't know if Santa's back yet or not. Oh, Jesus Christ, I just saw that you posted in Discord, Josh. Freaking Poppy.
Yeah.
I had to make a character sheet to get that joke to work.
And now we have Poppy the Performer as a character sheet somewhere.
We do oddly enough. It's at the bottom of handouts. It doesn't come up
Just
for
give
you
it to
lot
me as
though.
a backup.
But yes. I will let Kuiper, since he is now the closest, make a perception.
Oh, okay. Bippity boppity boppity.
Lyra hears this oddly enough. You hear what seems to be common coming from up here.
Common.
Yep. Just the faintest
It-
talk of odd scents is up here today. An odd scent in the air. One we haven't smelled for some time. Oh yes,
Wait.
but where is that little flittery thing? We've seen it go about, but it hides from us, it mocks us so.
Lyra wishes to know if anybody else hears that talking.
You can roll a perception if you want to, Potoo. Same with you, Mariah, if you're still here.
Yeah.
Oh god, she is still here. It's just that for the
Of
longest
course I
time, there's just
am.
been an exclamation mark over Mariah. Like, I think Roll20 is having issues on your end. Or at least it is on my end for you. 19. Mariah actually does hear that. Potoo, what did you get?
Oh, I need to roll another perception.
Yes, just to see if you can hear this. Yeah, just about. Potoo, that oddly enough seems to be coming from the same room as the Winter Wolves.
Winter wolves talk? Dead looking at Kuiper.
Make me an
Wait,
make me an nature check if you want to. Yeah, that'd be enough for one thing. Potoo, yeah. Kuiper, you know these things speak their own language called Winterwolf, but they also know enough common to converse with people. Potoo, you know these also speak giant. And
Well, that
also
doesn't do
assumingly
me any good.
Freljordian.
they know how to speak common, but it's not common for them to speak common,
Hmm.
which worries me.
Yes. From the sounds, I didn't hear what they said, did I?
No, only Lyra heard it. You only heard like the ending parts of it vexes us so.
Methinks you should probably get the child out of here. Generally speaking, Potoo would probably be pointing at both, but knowing Waffleberg probably still wants Umpa to see corpses.
Waffleberg wants Umpa to look upon her dead parents and become bat Yumpa.
Well, upsetting Umpa at this current point in time might not be the best thing. Because I don't know the capacity of the winter wolves. And they can talk.
That is true.
So it's less of Potoo trying to shelter and more so trying to GTFO with safety.
One moment.
Do they have? Oh, they do. They do have this. I'm gonna roll something for them. Do they get any fingers for this? They do. It's +5.
Ugh.
Oh lord.
Oh no.
Hold on, I smell something.
Can I send Debbie to distract them?
First things first, roll me a perception to see if you heard him even say that.
Right. 19.
Yeah, you heard him say something along the lines of that. You're definitely hearing the poing coming closer.
Okay. Go, Debbie. Be the best distraction ghostly possible.
Devi zooms off.
After seeing Devi get sent, Kuiper's gonna do is probably won't be able to pick this thing up, but sort of like lure it down here.
Kuiper animal handling. Potoo, roll me a d20 +2. We'll say that for your distraction. Well, for like a charisma check.
That's another 19.
Okay. Yep. The baby Stellarcorn is following you, Kuiper. And with a 19, these things are going to watch as
Roll
this little thing
terribly.
flips in. And they are going to roll again. They sniff the air as they look. This one smells of nothing. An illusion, perhaps.
Say that when Debbie starts biting your soul ass.
Are you saying that?
Just mentally thinking.
Okay.
I imagine Debbie would probably do something along those lines of being not taken for real.
Because they are still making their way through the tunnel. After sniffing Devi and be like, Yeah, no, this thing smells of nothing, therefore it's not what we were after.
Okay. Potoo is definitely shooing everybody out through the tiny corridor. And
The Yordles and the Stellar Coin can make it. You two, you and Waffleberg will need another athletics to squeeze through.
Potoo is going to make sure everybody's out.
Okay. I'll just say Waffleberg can make it through, given Santa's still BRB.
Yeah.
And you squeeze on through as well, Potoo?
Once everybody's out and making their way out, yes.
Oh.
You want me to roll to see if I can get through? Yes. There's acrobatics.
Acrobatics, yes. A 16, yep, you just about managed to squeeze through. Just as these things enter the room. So yes,
With
they
all
are
the
in there now.
icons.
What? So yes, you are through the room now. You are back in the small corridor.
What is going on?
Two winter wolves. Potoo is ushering everybody out of the room. We found the baby star horse thing, and yeah, and Potoo's like, GTFO?
Why are we running from the wolves?
Do you know what a winter wolf is? I don't know what they do. I don't want to see what it does. And we have 2 children with us. Go figure.
Just upon you saying we have 2 children, Umpa looks around and then motions to the baby Stellar Coin and then to Mariah.
We'll let Umpa think that way, but I'm pretty sure Waffleberg knows what Potoo is talking about.
Waffleberg's going to let them pass, and then before Waffleberg follows, Waffleberg is going to go ahead and
Potoo made sure
after
that everybody
everyone
left the room first.
Waffleberg is letting Potoo go first because Waffleberg has more to give the kingdom about what he's going to do to slow them down. Which is a very simple spell.
So
Which he can't do at the moment, so never mind. Waffleberg's going to keep going. But he is going to drop a patented Waffleberg tube of annoyance, which is going to fire out the small little holograms in that room. And you know what they're doing.
Yep. Which is definitely distracted them when it comes to hearing. But just as with the Devi distraction, I'm going to have to roll for them. A 16 and a 9. One of them is just sniffing at these things and batting them around like, what is this? This is not of the Freljord. The other one ignores it. Just his ears flattened, but he's clearly following more his scent. As he starts to sniff at the narrow corridor that he would find it hard to fit through.
Can I throw the acid vial in its face, particularly its nose?
Make me a dex check, I would say.
Oh, hey, Iron.
Hi, dear.
Hey! Look who joined the party.
Hello.
Hello.
Natural 20.
Yep. Just as it sticks its muzzle in to try and get a better sniff at you all, you just smash this vial against its nose, and it just backs up yelping.
How to make the best freaky impersonation of an animal possible, just backing up through the corridor even more.
I am going to have to roll some stuff though now. Oh, joy, these things also have that, but it's only a +3 now. Let me just check this shit. /R1d20 +3. The first one gets a 12. Not enough. The second one hears it. The third one doesn't. One of these wolves in the corridor. Here's one of its masters yelp out in pain.
Well, that's plenty of a distraction. Go, go, go!
So he just tried to rush straight back to the entrance.
Yes, unless somebody wants to get Alari and Delris up on the hotline and let them know what's going on. While we're getting the children to safety.
I'll see you, Katie.
For sakes of purposes, don't include me this session.
Okay.
I'm literally just listening in to the very end, because, you know.
How long have we
Makes
recorded
sense.
for? Oh yeah, we are coming up on 2.5 hours to be fair.
Because I'm still not great
Yeah.
after I can talk about it, but go.
Understandable.
So, yep, you all rush back towards the entrance. As you do hear the pattering of wolf paws just echoing through this whole place now. The Stellarcorn baby looking quite concerned. Umpa leaning over Waffleberg's shoulder doing like grabby hands. So it's being like, no, I want to go back. Want to go back home.
Yes, well, we'll do that as soon as we take care of what's inside. But I want to make sure that you two are safe.
Umpa lets out a growl.
Yes.
Not at you.
What?
That one wolf that heard you, just as you make it to the entrance. He's
What are
catching
you?
up. And Umpa aims her club at it. And you will see a flurry of snow just zoom forth from the top of the club and smack this wolf in the face, causing it to stumble.
Huh.
Because yes, as I've mentioned earlier this week, I remembered that Umpa technically has a magical club in the game.
Haha! I take it now Umpa understands the situation, though, given the fact of the wolf.
Yeah, no. As soon as she's done that, she's like patting her off her shoulder, like, faster, faster, faster. So as you manage to exit the cave, and just go along the ledge back towards the gently used fish. That is where we'll end it for this week.
Okay.
Because as I said, we've been going for 2 hours, 23 minutes. Seems like a good place to stop it. And yes, you have found out what has happened to Umpa's parents. And you have also found the baby Stellarcorn.
Yes.
Also, dear God, these things are the worst nightmare ever. I feel like I need to screenshot this and post it in one of the other chats just so they can see what nightmare we were dealing with.
You probably should, especially for Iron's
Yeah,
sake.
hang on. Let me just reveal the area there too. I mean, Dion did just log into Roll20 as well, so she could probably see that. I just had to find an icon, just be like, okay, I need something that looks like it's trapped in ice. These things from a small little icon, they look like it. And then we zoomed in and realized, no. This is
Cursed.
this is cursed. Either way, for everyone watching, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Dark Tides of Runeterra.